G'day, mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. Now, a bunch of stuff's happened. Between episodes. First thing I've done, we'll go over the minor stuff first. I've added more speed modules. I've even added speed beacons to anything that's digging up iron that I can access. Because I want the iron dealt with. I've doubled our stone great storage area because... so much stone. I want the stone gone. There's still 1.6 million, so however big this storage is, it's probably going to have to increase more because I've still got more stone I need to dig up. In fact, I'm probably going to build over this stone. I just want the iron and this. Really, I just want the iron out of the way. Even then, I'm starting to get sick of that. I'm thinking I'm just going to build over it and be done with it. Copper got its round of speed modules. This copper iron mine up here got filled out with speed modules as well. We're trying to get rid of all the home resources. The map got slightly extended, which means the screenshot thing is taking way longer because we're now up to 3,600 screenshots. So that's annoying. But hopefully, as I said, at time-lapse will come out great. It's something I'm actually going to play with tomorrow. I know I've said that multiple times, but it's going to be actually a tomorrow job. I say tomorrow. I might end up recording a couple of episodes tomorrow. We'll see. So that's happening. What else has happened? I cleared out a whole bunch of biters. I handcrafted another power armor. This is a combat suit. It basically just kills biters. It doesn't really do much else. I have changed over the research to add a bit more projectile damage and a bit more laser damage. I'm probably going to even go higher. It seems level 10 is sort of the sweet spot. So I want to get these up to level 10 just to help with clearing out biters. Because dead set, even with nukes, can we see any of those biter bases? It's pretty red out there. Artillery. Bertha came out. Bertha went for a bit of a drive. We're making 100 artillery shell per minute. And if we look over the 10-hour graph, we can see we filled up the big Bertha. It was full. And then production had to restart. And then production's been going ever since. And our consumption, like we can see in this like couple of minute, 4.5 hours ago, I consumed how many artillery shells that is. 1.4k. Carpet bombing an area. So, yeah, I'm really hoping I don't have to do another expansion until I can get out that's next research. Because I'm wasting a lot of shells. Now, I've got no problem wasting shells, except the artillery train does not last long. In fact, when it fills up, I think I'm going to change this to double buffer or maybe even triple buffer, just so I can have enough in storage that when I take the train out, it can go to town and just, like, decimate everything. What else? Green circuits now also fill onto the bus with any excess. There's not really a lot of excess. But, you know, occasionally, sometimes there might be some. This is forcing it up. Yeah. Okay. So, if there's any excess, it doesn't go into blue circuits. It at least now goes onto the bus properly. At least that's the idea behind it. There's not a lot of excess, so not a lot happens. Really, the base is struggling. I'm running it at peak performance. When we came to filling the trains, it took ages getting not so much everything transported across, but actually having the production run to get 2.8k blue belt in that train wagon and that train wagon. This one's got 3.4 and 3.4 red belt. That's a lot of iron, so it just took a long time. On top of that, you can see my wall is just nothing but lasers. Shoulder-to-shoulder lasers. Because I don't really want to put walls all the way down and around the base. Because they just take a lot of time to do. So yeah, I just went with solid lasers. In fact, actually, before I forget, again, no, do not delete train track. Just lasers, please. No. Yeah, the artillery can go now too. It can't range anything. Voila. So yeah, we'll pick up all those. Power. Power is the other thing. So power on a 10-minute graph. So on a 10-minute, basically your power cycle once from a day cycle to a night cycle. As we can see here, we're using about a quarter to a third of our total solar panel power. There goes the screenshot machine. So I had to turn on nuclear to start with. I needed the nuclear power to get us through the night because we didn't have enough. Now it runs a little bit longer. 3,888 screenshots. Just a few. So I can increase my power from 1.2 to 1.6. So I can add another, basically 200 megawatts twice, 400 megawatts. I can add about 400 megawatts to this base before I need to either duplicate my nuclear build, which I can do very, very easily, or lay down some more solar panels, which is something I'm trying to avoid. I really don't want to lay down solar panels just yet. I might need to do it eventually, but right now I'd prefer not to. So what else? Ted's still doing damage. He's trying his hardest. Generally, he's a bad shot. That's okay. He's got to go back to Star Wars Academy sooner or later and get another course in how to shoot straight. That's pretty much everything. So, what are we doing this episode? We're doing a few things. At least I hope. First off, let's bring up this. The Kirk McDonald calculator. So, on 1 rocket per minute, okay, because whatever we're doing, it's going to be a multiple of 1, obviously. On Blue Belt, on electric furnaces with a 24 beacon setup. So that's the real 24 beacon. A 12 beacon setup. So I've run all the calculations on 12 beacons. I've changed oil refineries because they actually hold more beacons. And I've changed the rocket solar because, again, they hold more beacons. So if we've got 24 speed modules in every... That'll be a 0. And that'll be a 0. And that'll be a 0. We don't need stone for anything, do we? I don't think so. Okay. So, on a 24 beacon setup, okay, we need 791 miners making iron ore. 1,147 copper miners making copper. Yes, you need more copper than... Actually, they won't have problems in them. Carry that forward, and carry that forward. So, 100 coal miners, 820 on copper, and 566 on iron. Okay? We need 7.6 lanes of iron, 11 lanes of copper, 1.2 lanes, because just one would be too hard. 1.2 lanes of coal, like 3 lanes of plastic. We need 7 refineries going flat out. That is not stopping whatsoever, which is actually not too bad. But some of these stats are like insane, and just the amount of material we need. So, that's on a 1 rocket. I want to build a 5 rocket per minute base. Okay? And I'm hoping if I build 5 rocket per minute, I can then duplicate it and duplicate it and duplicate it. So we can go from 5 to 10 to 15 to maybe 20. 20 is... what, the equivalent of about a 7,000 science pack base. So I know I stated that I was going to go for a lot higher, but I don't know how the UPS is going to crunch us. And that's what it really comes down to. I need to build as efficiently as possible throughout every step so we can build as big as possible. So, we're going to start with a 5 rocket per minute base, which if we go back to our original stats, means we now need almost 3,000 miners on iron with 4,000 on copper. Just 500 on coal. Coal's the easy one, 500. But yeah, 37 lanes of iron, 54 lanes of copper. If we turn off steel... like, only 25 of those lanes are actually for iron. All the other lanes, the other, 12. 12 are for steel. So, yeah, there's a little bit of production to go. So, this is the idea. This is the concept. This is what we're aiming for. We need to find a spot to start building, and I'm figuring right about there as an arbitrary spot. And I'm just going to be building over patches. I'm not going to care. So, first thing we need to do is put in a T-junction. Come on. Come on, game. It's doing that whole screenshot thing again. Manual. Reverse. Back the other way. And reverse. And stop. Okay. So we need to put in a T-junction just so we've got somewhere to sort of start from. I don't actually even need proper train tracks at this point. We're just going to put in a bit of a loop train. Come on. Okay. So, going back to the list of things that I need to make. I need to make a rocket silo. Now, I haven't decided whether I'm going to build a 5 rocket per minute base and have the rocket silos there, or whether I'm going to make all the materials and ship all the stuff to a central rocket location. That's probably my preferred, but we will see. Which also means I might make the satellites at the same site and just have a small dedicated build that just does like satellites and rockets. That's pretty much it. You know, physically builds the rockets, physically makes the satellites. So, we need a bunch of stuff, and this is going to get really expensive really quickly. So the other thing I need is not the outpost, the supply train that does train tracks. I need this train. So this train's got all the goodies on it for actual base building. I need to come there and I need to wait for full cargo. And whilst I'm at it, I'm going to find out what that red dot is. Because I don't like red dots. Especially with the expansion on. It was a blighter. Problem solved. Alright. So, the first spot I'm actually going to start is with oil. Now, everything's temporary. The idea is I'm going to make these builds and then get back here. Get back here. The idea is I'm going to make these builds and then at a later stage I can then line them up with where I actually want them in the end. So for my oil, I'm lucky enough I need 33.5 refineries. So I need 34 refineries, which really doesn't divide down terribly easily. 8, 16, 32, no. 9, 18, 37. So we're going to do a rows of 9. 8, 9. So I'm lucky I've already got a refinery built that I can literally just copy and paste. Now, the problem with this particular refinery build, one of the many problems with it, is one, I need to change the water input because we are going to use the water pump directly to a refinery. So we're going to have to use the, what are those things called? Blast and charge to fix those up. I want those, I want those, I want those. Okay, maybe not quite that many of those. I want a whole bunch of those. So the other problem with this is I'm going to have... I'm sort of going to have to build these piece by piece. Because I'm really going to have an issue with pipe throughput. If we go back to the Kirk McDonald calculator for a second, I'm going to have... This is per minute. So if I change this to per second. Actually, I'm not. So heavy oil I can merge up. Light oil and petroleum I can't. So I need to change over these pipes. If I cut those two and put them like that. So I need to change over the pipe so the heavy oil comes to the outside. Because really my intention is to get decon planner, turn that off, go pipe and pipe. There's screenshot machine. So my intention is really, if I bring that back up so I can see it, or you guys can see it, my intention is to merge all the heavy oil together into one long pipe. Because I will have the throughput available to do that, at least for heavy oil. For the other liquids, I won't. So I'll have to probably deal with them on an individual refinery basis before they go into acid or before they go into plastic. Which means either I have to time everything out perfectly so nothing backs up, or I have to sort of merge them together in some sort of load balancing tank to then run them back out off to plastic and acid. Actually, I really just need a touch of acid. So most of it's going to go to petroleum or solid fuel. Actually, a lot of it goes to solid fuel. Anyway, so heavy oil. Let me through. Thank you. So then I want to duplicate this guy. And I want to try and line up our heavy oil like so. No, I want to go from there to there. And so we decided 9. Well, actually, we need 34. So quick maths. 9 plus 8 is 17. What? 9 plus 8 times 2. That'll do. So that's what we're going to do. We'll run a slightly odd oil build like so. Now I can share those bottom beacons, so I'm going to take the advantage. I think everything's going to get offset. Yep. Boom. Alright. At the same time, I want to actually build this. I don't want to have like some of the resources or some of the buildings down here. I actually want this completely built. So I want all the substations down, all the power poles hooked up. I'd really like all the pipes hooked up too. Can we have like all your pipes, please? Along with potentially... No, I don't want robot coverage. Because in theory, we're not doing anything with robots. Everything will happen with belts. 1, because I like belts, because belts are cool. 2, because I actually think they're going to have a lower UPS impact. But it means that, yeah, I need to hook up power from one side to the other, which should be as simple as just a single substation. I hope. Oh, pipes. Okay, I need more beacons. You. Gimme. Inventory full. That can go away, that can go away. Pipes. Give me some straight pipes this time. Run through the top half a second time. Nothing. Nothing. Okay, no pipes in the top half. Run through the bottom half. And I probably need to change out my armor for a full builder's set. So that's all power, all roboports. Nope. 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 I can put some of those back. And I need some of those. Where'd all the... Okay, some outer refineries. I thought there was more underground pipes. That's straight pipe. Oh. Something's gone wrong. I thought you were meant to be nothing but pipes. Okay, it's the middle wagon. Yeah, that one. So something's gone wrong, obviously. Oh, screenshot. That's annoying. Something's gone wrong and this has been overwritten for some reason. With all those assemblers and prod mods. Pipe. Okay. I'll have... Did I go the refineries down? It looks like it. I just need to put down all the speed modules. Put down that guy. Are we actually short on pipes? Yeah, 24. You bet we're short on pipes. Oh, more spots that speed modules are missing. Okay. So, that's our oil. Which is going to need... How much oil per minute? Per second? 5,700 oil per second. So, I'm actually going to need... basically 4 oil trains, or I'm going to need a oil train coming in here and unloading, and same as the, actually worse than the petroleum, I'm going to have to load balance all the oil. Yeah, that's wrong as well. Okay. That goes back in there. We're just going to select and unselect all these items. Because I've obviously pasted another wagon over the top. And it's changed half of the things that were saved. Okay, so oil. So water comes in directly. So again, I'm going to have to strip these out. Why do I always realize this after it's built? And then I need to go like this with the oil. So the oil is going to come in from there, go into there, then go straight into there, and then out again. Because I'm going to need that throughput. No. Hang on. You're being fed that way. You're being fed that way. You're being fed from the shorter direction. You're being fed from... This one will be fed from the left. That one will be... Okay, so... Try again. Because of pipe placement, we actually need to... And you'll see why in a second. So I need to do... a pump, a straight pipe, a underground out, and a underground in. And then repeat that process over and over and over. Because like I said, I need the increased throughput that a pump will give me. And then for this one, delete all those. Now, this one is actually going to be... So, top row, max rate calculator. We need 1,500, or 1,600 oil per second. A pipe has a throughput limit. Now, the throughput limit is variable on so many things, but mainly pipe length. if I put in all these pumps, then I should be better off in overall pipe throughput. Okay, so the top row is at 1600. The second row has just slightly less refineries. So that's only 1400. But the catch is, paste. Rather than going pump to pipe to straight in, this is actually going to have to go through an extra pipe section, which will slow down the total throughput. So that's why I was trying to work out which way is best, and obviously feeding in from the left is going to be better overall, because this row and this row have a higher throughput, and they'll be fed in from the correct side. This row and this row will have a lower throughput, and they'll be fed in less correct, but they should need slightly lower throughput. Should. It's one of those things, but that's one of the things I like about building a Megabase is until you actually start building it, you don't know if it works. And that's even more so when you turn it on. When you first turn it on and try and get it, even if it's already running a little bit, it's not running at peak performance levels until you really get everything built and everything turned on, everything fed. And then suddenly you might find out that something you designed right back at square one actually does not work the way you thought it would. So it might mean you need to redesign half the base, just one part of the base, every part of the base. All depends on how fundamentally important that one part was. Like, I'm pretty sure, but not 100% confident, that I can get a pipe. These don't have a direct water feed. So I'm pretty sure that once I landfill this, I can get a pipe in to that tile, even though that says there's a hitbox there. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. Well, there you go. We just tested it and I can't. So I can't get a pipe behind the offshore pump, the water well pump. So this is not going to work. I'm going to have to... Nope. This one will work because it comes out and then sits back here. So this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to run it that way. Copy that. Update you to include pumps, which is probably a better design after all. But had I not stopped to check, I could have ended up with a build that just is not going to be able to be built and wouldn't work. Okay, we'll come up to this one, deconstruct all of that, copy all of that. Did that line up? It slipped right at the end. Yeah, that lined up. Good. Don't need that extra pipe. Yeah, it slipped. Okay. Alright. So, oil refineries are at least done. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it off here because this has already been a long enough of an episode. I'm going to send you back to base, and then you can come back here and you can wait till passenger present. So we'll come back next episode. We'll keep building. I'm going to have to tackle probably plastic next, and maybe something like acid. And solid fuel. Like I just want to get all the refinery stuff done in one episode. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying the series. And I'll see you in the next episode where we continue with the oil build. Thanks for watching. Bye.